Right, it's going to start the theme. Hands in the air like you just don't care. Welcome, bienvenue. Welcome to the Love Entrepreneurs Show, starring Ellery Coslet, and of course today's special guest, who is currently on mute, is Vanessa Mary.
I thought you wanted me on mute. Hi.
Why would I want you on mute? You're a star of the show, Vanessa. We need to hear what you're talking about. No, so. Everyone knows that Love Entrepreneurs is an enterprise which is all about getting people to communicate with each other, to work with each other towards the betterment of all. It is a fellowship. And what that means is we all work together towards the same goal by helping each other out. And it's not reciprocal. It really is a meritocracy. If you don't do anything, nothing happens. So people have to work together. But
it needs to be reciprocal then, doesn't it? Arguably. That's the point.
Not really. No, I would argue it's not reciprocal. Ladies and gentlemen, we're already getting in it. No, reciprocal means it's a knee-jerk reflex that just because you've made me a pie, I have to make you a pie too. That's not the way it should work. It should be if the pie's any good and if the pie's worth eating, then I'll make you another pie. If you want a pie, you might want something else. Today, we're talking about collaboration being the new currency. And as per usual, I'm going to throw Ellery straight under the bus. Ellery, why is collaboration the new currency?
Well, no man can build a business on his own island, or woman, or something.
Or everything else.
Anything else. What to say?
Hang on. I'm going to save you. I'm going to save you from the flaming throws. No person.
No person, thank you. No person, yes. So for a long time, I have looked at how larger businesses make their money, and they all collaborate together all the time. They all collaborate together. Now, small businesses do not do this. What they do is, not invented here mentality. So they see collaboration as the enemy of the people, when in fact it's the friend of the people. Now, this is why I brought Vanessa Mary on board today, because Vanessa is a member of Love Entrepreneurs, and she has this wonderful event, which she'll tell you about, on the 17th of May, called Seeds of Success. There we go, behind her, it's stated. Now, she is a huge collaborator. So we often have these long conversations about, what is wrong with people? They want to do things, they want to get an audience, they want to get a platform. But you give them the opportunity on a plate. You give them a moon on a stick, and they don't want it. So I thought, let's talk about collaboration being the new currency, because it really, really is. Vanessa, what do you think?
Sorry, so thank you very much, Ellery and Gareth, for having me on your podcast today. So yeah, my name's Vanessa Mary, and I am a holistic wellbeing coach based in Nottingham, and I've been organising events really for a long time. When I look back at my career, I've always brought different groups of people together, different types of people, maybe who wouldn't normally speak with each other, into one place. So I suppose I've always had this sense that by working together, we are all going to win. All right. Now, the event, what I'm organising in Nottingham next Saturday.
It's a week Saturday. Let's be clear. It's a week.
Yeah, a week Saturday. So, it's about small business owners, mainly who've got families, so their mums, dads, uncles, aunts. I even said to another woman that I was meeting, you could work with your grandmother. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Families working together is another example of collaboration. There's lots of families, actually, even in my own family, where I have a lot of people in the trade. And I've always said to them, why don't you come together and actually you could present yourself as a united unit? So I think there's lots of opportunities, but I do appreciate, Ellery, for whatever reason, some people do shy away from working with others. I don't know if it's maybe they feel threatened. I don't know if it's because of their lack of confidence. Sometimes I feel like it's a lack of commitment as well, Larry. People like the idea of coming together, but when it comes down to it, are they committed to see things through right till the finish line?
Well, this is it. You see, I'm not sure it's lack of commitment. I would say it's probably lack of education in terms of how business really works. Because what happens when you collaborate with other people is you've got liquid networks, haven't you? You've got networks of networks of networks. Now, people are furtively protective of their own network because they think, by collaboration with somebody else, you're going to snaffle up their network and they're going to do nothing. Well, if this was true, if this were true, nobody would do anything. Nobody would market anything. Because think of it, the moment you've rebranded a new cornflakes or whatever, that's it. Game's over, right? Well, that's not true. Because what you're doing is you're helping their clients with something that that you do and their people don't do, and vice versa. So actually what you've got is another marketing arm for your business. We're all talking about we can't trade time for money, but you've got another marketing arm here. That's the beauty of it. Why people can't understand that, I do not know, but it's about working together, that we all increase and get bigger together, therefore we all benefit financially together.
Well, many hands making light work, etc., isn't it?
Yeah, but I do come back to commitment, Larry, because you said about education, but you've got to be committed to do the work to actually find out the information as well. So when I'm meeting people and we're having a light-hearted discussion, I think people like the sound of working together. But then if the next invitation was come to a webinar so I can tell you more, or I've got this information for you, like you've given us some fantastic information within the Love Entrepreneurs community, which is very detailed. Most of us have had to hear it more than once, but we have to be committed to showing up and to be vulnerable, to say, no, Larry, we don't really understand that. Could you repeat it? Could I ask you a question about it? So I do feel it is about commitment to, like I said, reaching the end goal. You've got to show up with a certain presence within your vibrational energy, which is going to show the others in the group that you are committed to making this work. And sometimes, Larry, you said this once within our sessions, that yes, you may see somebody at the front today and we're all trying to get behind them and support them, but tomorrow it's not going to be their turn, it's going to be somebody else's turn, and we'll come behind you and we'll support you. So again, I feel that there's a lack of commitment. I think that's just going to be my word, commitment. There's a lack of commitment to really push and get behind and support others, or as much as we can.
Yeah, and you see, that's the thing. I think what you're saying without saying it is a lot of these people who run small businesses do not really understand or have the interest in really learning what it's like to run a business. I mean, they're playing around, basically. Yes. Now, I can tell you, having run very large businesses and made millions, everybody in the organization is 100% committed to the end goal of client delivery, making money, delivering for clients and getting outcomes and moving forward consistently. And I think that, you were talking about, for example, the SEIS venture we were doing with collaboration with Silvertree and Love Entrepreneurs. Now, that is phenomenal. That's free money. That's free money. Now, free money is not going to motivate people. You wonder what the hell is. I mean, I'm not talking small free money. We're talking 125 grand of free money. So it's.
I saw a gentleman standing in the high street, not here, I think it was in Cambridge, and he was holding a £5 note. He had basically a basket full of £5 notes, and he was holding it there and saying, "Take my £5 note." And they were going, "No." And they said, "But it's free." But no. That's the point. It really happened. People are scared of anything that looks too good to be true. And this EIS genius thing that you've pulled together, Larry, with Silvertree, frankly, I want to draw everyone's attention to the fact that I've created a little ticker at the bottom there, which if you follow that short link will go straight through to the event on Eventbrite. And I've also put up a QR code top right. Now, there are 2 QR codes on this screen. The bottom left is towards Love Entrepreneurs Big Fix. The one on the right is to Vanessa Mary's event. So I would recommend doing both. Certainly, if you scan them off your screen right now, you can get in there and take part in this amazing event. But no, it's quite right. I think consistency, commitment, and also realizing that very little happens without a little bit of effort. And that effort could be a small amount of effort over a longer period of time, but you've got to put it in there as consistency.
Yeah, but the point is about Vanessa Mary's event, right? So there it is, proffered as a family event. So immediately some people will go, oh, it's a family event, therefore it's not relevant to me. Sorry, I run my business along with a lot of, I run it along with my ex-partner. He's family. My daughter's been involved in the business. She no longer is involved in the business, but that is not preventing me from coming because I see it as we are all family. Oh. I've got all my sisters with me. Okay, Mark's the first person who recognises that song. Who was the band? Right. So anyway, so
Sister Sledge, yeah, man.
Thank you.
The goat.
Actually, anyway, so the point is that we don't know who we're going to meet. We create networks of people, but we make the effort. You've got to get off your fucking arse, excuse the language, and make the
I can't believe you said arse on live television.
I know, me too. Can I add another C? So I love that collection of C's. Communication.
All right. Okay. Stand down, everybody. Stand down. A different C. Go on.
Yeah, communication.
Yeah, it's not a 4-letter word.
How are you going to make collaboration your new currency if you are not communicating clearly, making sure that you are putting your cards out on the table, as it were? What is it that you actually want? Yeah. What is it that you can actually give? Don't be in things for the take either. Don't be in things for the take. There's too many people who want to turn up in a situation, in a group environment or one-to-one, whatever, and it's always what's in it for me. I don't think we can't go on like that anymore. Well, I think we're on a different vibrational timeline, but that's just me.
I think the better question would be, how can I help? What can I do to facilitate that? Because was it rising tides lift all boats, and if we can make the tide just lift up a little bit, everyone benefits. Yeah. And part of that, I mean, if I could say, I don't do this with Eleri for money or for show or anything else. I do it because I think there's a benefit to the group of people that I subscribe to, which is Love Entrepreneurs, and that way we all benefit out of it.
Can I just say, right? So I want to just say to people why I do this, because people think I'm bonkers the amount of time I spend. Well, I am bonkers anyway. Look at what I'm wearing, but I've noticed, what I've tried to create, the from cradle to the grave, step-by-step approach for business building. It doesn't matter how small or large you are. If you want to do a FTSE 500, that's great. We can do that for you too, or an IPO, no problem. The principles are the same, actually. They're just more noughts at the end of it, right? The principles are exactly the same. So the idea of coming along and doing your big fix, it's free for people to come along to do it. Now, here's the thing, and this is a collaboration bit, Vanessa Mary. So when we sit down with people post Big Fix and ask them, would you like to come and learn how to implement all of this? They're like, no, we know it. So what happens, I guarantee you, is they go off into the murky mystery of life and they don't implement anything. Why don't you want to learn from somebody who can help you do it? I don't want to hear I haven't got any money, because I provided you with money. I provided you with your own currency. Yeah. I don't want to hear I haven't got any money to set up a business. I set up businesses with 43 quid, which was my discharge grant. I don't want to hear it. There's no problem. And you, Vanessa Mary, are another example of somebody that has weathered the storm of life. You could cite 5, 10, 20 things that could have seriously held you back, but I never hear you go, oh, because of this, this, and this, I'm not moving forward. No, you've used that experience to create power and light.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. And I think just resilience, so I know it's not a C, it's an R, but you know, resilience is something that you know, definitely, you know, for some of us, we've had to turn our pain into power, and we've had to, you know, your backstory, Larry, is definitely of a woman who's been able to do that. And I do agree with you that forget your excuses. I go back to what I just said. What is it that you actually want? What is it that you actually want for your life, for your health, for your family, for your business, for your wider community? Once you've got clarity on those questions, which is going to be down to the individual, that for me will determine what type of collaborations you will attract into your life. You need to have those, you know, the answers to those things, and that's what's going to help you to move forward. That's what
I'm painfully aware that Vanessa Mary has got to go off to another event. I want to say thank you so much to Larry for helping me facilitate, put this thing on. And I'm hoping it lifts all of you up watching, because I can see there's a bunch of you that are. Thank you for that. And what I would also say is we are here every week. So if you encounter either myself, Vanessa Mary, or Larry Coslet, then please do make suggestions about what you would like us to talk about. We tend to talk about what it is to be within the fellowship. And the last thing I'm going to say is, if you click or if you scan either of the 2 QR codes on the screen, I guarantee you'll come away feeling like you've done a good thing, because it will benefit you, not just your business, but you personally. So until next week, thank you to you both, and to you for watching. And try and keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars. Who knows, you might catch the moon. And look after that mental health. Until next week, bye-bye now.
Thanks.